Hello and welcome to Mentoring the Mentors, an institute that accelerates your learning curve. My dear educators, let's discuss more about CATS, Classroom Assessment Tools. In our last video, we discussed some of the classroom assessment tools, and we shall be knowing more about such kinds of tools that we can use in our classes for formative assessment to know our students' understanding of the concepts, for check for understanding, and also under the category, under the title, multiple assessments. So, my dear educators, the cats that we are going to discuss today includes challenge and verbs. Challenge on verbs. It's a statement or the words, real life problem, question, case study, or any scenario is placed is in an envelope. You will be carrying an envelope to your classroom and you will be putting inside a problem, a case study, a scenario, and that students they draw the envelopes and respond to the challenge by identifying the solutions to address the challenge. So this is a kind of challenge envelope. This is a kind of activity to bring excitement in your classes, right? You can put maybe same or different kinds of case studies and you can make your envelopes ready. You can talk about any other questions, any other question prompts as well, and you should carry the same in your class. Is a kind of mystery bag that you can have some challenge envelopes, right? So even if you wanna make it like that, you can label them also as per from the beginner level to the proficient level to slowly and gradually they you have to skip fold them to move from beginner to advanced to proficient level. Accordingly you can select the color of the envelope also as per the challenge inside. So I hope you would really enjoy this activity. Next one is checklist. Students develop a listing of criteria to assess a product, report, presentation, or process. They will be creating a checklist. It's a kind of like as we create rubrics to check whether the students they are able to achieve all the given parameters, all the points that we have listed in the rubrics, the different descriptors to the different levels, right? So likewise, they can create their own checklist, listing the criteria to assess a product or whatever is a kind of Likert scale also, you can share the same with them. Circles of knowledge, a graphic organizer that promotes students to write facts, whatever they know, like 3 facts I know, 3 questions I want answered and answer to my questions, right? So, I mean, this kind of graphic organizer I have already discussed in my videos where I share different kinds of graphic organizers with you. So this is how you can give any sort of graphic organizer to your student. This is a kind of circle of knowledge. Like the students, the facts the child knows and the question the child wants to be answered by the facilitator, right? Our next is class publication. Students collaborate to create a written work to be published. Formats might include magazine, newspaper, brochure, map, newsletter, or yearbook. For example, you have got different students in your class, they have opted for different activity club. Maybe I'm just taking an example. So in our daily life also, number of another topics that we discuss in the class, you can divide these topics with your students. They can share their learning, share their understanding, and then together you can get it published in the form of ebook, in the form of magazine. I mean, whatever you want to do, that will be their class publication. So they'll be working the entire year to share their learning outcomes, like in what manner they have achieved their learning outcomes. That will be even a consolidated, a compiled individual portfolio compiled in a booklet form. The same can also be done. The options are endless. And the next one is collaborative learning. It's a kind of work that involves 2 or more students. As I've already shared with you, there is difference between collaborative and cooperative learning. When you give any task to your student to be worked in a group, and but you do not judge, you do not mark any individual for his or her individual performance. Rather, they are given marks based on the entire performance of the group as a group, whole group performance. Collages, students gather images, clippings from magazines, photographs, or maybe their own drawings, and organize them to illustrate a concept or a point of view. So the same can be done in a form of collages as well. Collage, but give them freedom to put anything. Maybe that is created by them, maybe that is gathered by them, that is explored by them, collected over a period of time, right? So you would encourage respecting others' choice also, right? So this is what you have to encourage, the spirit of teamwork. And next one is collective notebook. It is similar to what we have already discussed. You can get the published, you can get the students' work published all together in the form of a group collaborative task. A notebook maintained by a group in which each member of the group is expected to add an idea or observation during a specified time period, typically maybe every week, every weekend, right? Every day. And the contents of the notebook are regularly shared and published or discussed. So they can have their collective notebooks as well. Manually, they can share. Every child shares his or her learning. So at the end of the year, you will be having a collective notebook of responses. Maybe you can divide it in term wise also, or maybe quarterly as well. So that entirely depends upon you. Next is computer stimulations. Stimulating events or situations on a computer enables students to experiment with the concepts or the materials quickly and safely. You can share any tech stimulations with your students and stimulate their learning through various kinds of you see prompts, and all the same can be used through any kind of platforms. You can share the same. If I talk about computer assisted instruction, CAI, students learn at their own pace with interactive computer programs. There are number of games like Kahoot and all number of games we have shared with our students during the online platform. So the students, they love to have the learning on a self-paced base, right? So they'll be learning at their own pace. So what if they're not able to achieve it in one go? They'll be having more number of chances. They would love to have badges, they would love to have prizes, but at least they're learning at their own pace. That computer assisted instruction can be given to the students. Next is concept attainment model. Inductive model of instructions where students are presented with examples and non-examples of the concept. Students generate hypotheses and attempt to describe the concept. This is like a FRAIR model that we share with our students, where the children, they draw the picture, they define the item, they give examples, and they give non-examples. So likewise, when we talk about concept attainment model, we will be sharing with our students some examples and some non-examples related to the concept. And we ask our students to develop their own hypothesis that what we are talking about. Suppose you have shared a few pictures with your students, herbivores, carnivores, omnivores. Collectively, you have shared with them, maybe presented in the form of in a basket, in an sealed envelope. And when they open the same, the respective envelopes or the baskets given to the particular group, they will sort them out. They will try to develop their own concept, like what is being expected out of them. So they'll be developing their own hypothesis. Means we are talking about various eating habits. Maybe you have given them pictures and they'll be dividing the same based on pet animals and domestic animals, maybe the wild animals. So let them come up with their own concepts. That's creativity, that's a critical thinking. If I talk about concept circles, challenge students to either name the concept or complete the missing sections of the circle. You can give them some incomplete circles with the mind maps they'll be completing, and they'll be looking at the connections between different topics, between different concepts. So they'll be completing the same. So if I talk about next one is consider all factors, CAF, an approach to decision making that encourages individuals or groups to increase the number of factors or the variables they consider before making a decision. So let them decide their own variables, let them decide their own pointers that they consider before taking any decision. Consider all factors. I mean, if they are deciding something, they're concluding something, what all parameters they need to think about. For example, you can take an example of six thinking hats, right? Six thinking hats. Then we talk about what are the factors, what are the facts, what's the truth, what are the challenges, right? The situation, position. So accordingly, you can give them freedom to come up with their own ideas, own factors, own parameters, own descriptors. Now, coming to the next CAT, classroom assessment tool, that's cooperative learning. Students share knowledge with other students through a variety of structures. True cooperative learning includes five essential elements, and these elements are positive interdependence, face to face instructions, individual accountability, some structured activity, and team building skills. So if we talk about different elements are, so students are working in a group. The first point is positive interdependence. They will be dependent upon each other so that they'll be able to complete the given task. Face to face interaction, they will be interacting with each other, discussing their learning with each other, discussing their point, the step of ladder where they have reached towards their goal, and individually they are accountable for the given task, right? It's not like a collaborative learning where one child is not working and the rest of the group members, they are working hard. So every child is accountable for the given task. Some structured activity where each and every child is contributing, and team building or the group processing skills. So they are the five basic elements. For that, you can watch another video on cooperative learning on my channel. If I talk about corners, the students are asked to select by standing next to their choice from the four options which are posted in the four corners of the room. So students then they defend the choices and listen to the others' choices as well. For example, you have given any topic, any prompt to your students, and in the four corners of the room, you have labeled as agree, disagree, strongly disagree. Let the students go to the respective corners, and the students who will be reaching a particular corner amongst each other, they will be sharing their response. They will be discussing why they have chosen a particular response. And after discussion, they'll be sharing the same together with the entire class. This is a kind of four corner activity as well. You can increase or decrease the number of the corners as per the choices that you would like to share with your students. Next is creative thinking reading. So for that, what you have to do is the teams of the students, they work together to solve the assigned problem using text provided by the teacher. You have given a problem or a task to your students, and then you have given a material matter to read, to refer to, and there is a kind of, you see, open textbook, you can talk about open textbook test, where the students refer to the content to solve the given problem, where they have been given clues, but they have to come to the clue after reading a text, and they have to check the connections also. So this can also be a very good cat classroom assessment tool. Cubing. If I talk about cubing, as you know, cube is a six-part technique. Cube has six sides. So a six-part technique to explore different aspects of the topic. And the six parts include describing, comparing, associating, analyzing, applying, and arguing. So these are the six parts. The six parts, I mean, first they have to describe the given problem, and then you have to compare the same, associate, analyze, apply, and argue. So these points are to be covered. You can even give this topic, give this idea, give this cat to your students when you are discussing a given literature. So let them describe the given literature, let them compare the same with the previously read literature, let them associate the same with something else, like comparing and contrasting, let them analyze the different parts of it, and then apply and argue. Share their comments. There should be positive argument. So my lovely educators, so stay tuned if you want to know more about such interesting CATS classroom assessment tools. For that, what you have to do? Very simple. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button, share the videos in your community as well. And don't forget to share your valuable comments in the comment section below. Thank you. Have a nice day.